What's up? It's the J. Roos Theory, and I'm thinking about the crazy, outlandish comments that Timothy Bradley made against Alexander Usyk. Got great responses from you guys in the YouTube streets. Apparently, Timothy Bradley went even further, and I'm going to have to watch the whole video, but, he was talking about Alexander Usyk wasn't an all-time great, and now I'm finding out that he also said Alexander Usyk was a basic fighter. Alexander Usyk is a basic fighter? Well, I would hate to see a fighter that was complex then if that's basic, because this basic fighter is beating everybody. But, I kind of got to look at it from the other side too. That's all ego from Timothy Bradley. For one, he doesn't want to admit he's wrong about his assessment of Tyson Fury being an all-time great and stuff like that. I think Fury is a great. I don't know about all-time great, but he's definitely great. I mean, when have we seen a guy that height do what he's done? But I still think Usyk's resume is better than Tyson Fury's. But that ego that Timothy Bradley has is kind of what a boxer needs to get to a certain level. And that ego is not allowing him to admit that he was wrong. But you need an ego to be a great fighter, not prideful, but confident. And that's the problem I have with people like Carl Froch too. They're both retired. Timothy Bradley and Carl Froch are both retired, but they're both still talking like they got a fight next week. They can't admit they're wrong. You see Carl Froch constantly talking about him selling out Wembley with 80,000 and his record that got passed by AJ and Daniel Dubois. And you see now Timothy Bradley can't admit that he was wrong about Alexander Usyk. So it gets kind of tricky because that ego helped them as fighters, but now as analysts, it comes across like y'all don't know what you're talking about, and it comes across like you're kind of salty because Timothy, let's just call it what it is. It looks like you just don't want to admit you were wrong about Tyson Fury. Doesn't look like you want to give Usyk his props, because there's no way that Usyk is a basic fighter. I've never seen a guy do what Usyk's done, and I've been watching boxing for decades. I've never seen a guy that moves and bounces and just takes the punches that Usyk is taking. We think of Evander Holyfield, who had one of the best chins in boxing, but he was getting knocked down. Even, in Bo Holyfield 1, he got knocked down, and that's when he was in his prime. We haven't seen Usyk go down except for that body shot against Daniel Dubois. So, the ego is tricky, man. You got to be confident, but you can't be prideful. It's a thin line, and Timothy Bradley and Carl Froch don't seem to know how to toe the line. They seem to just speak, and I don't think they realize how they come across. They say all this outlandish stuff, and then they're probably shocked when they read the comments or see people do videos about it. Probably like the J. Roos Theory, like, he only has like 1,000 subscribers. I see why. He don't know what he's talking about. Actually, I do know what I'm talking about. And all the people in the comments that are calling you out know what they're talking about too. Alexander Usyk is not a basic fighter. He is an all-time great. Just the fact that he's come up from cruiserweight to beat these big heavyweights. And look at the things he did as a cruiserweight. Look at the people that he beat at cruiserweight. So I just don't get it, man. It's like he's trying to call him great so he doesn't look too out there, and then at the same time he's trying to say, oh, but he's not that great. So, man, you got to drop the ego. You're not boxing anymore. You needed the confidence as a fighter, but as an analyst, you just come across like you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't want to admit that you're wrong. And Carl Froch, don't nobody care about your 80,000 at Wembley. We're not impressed. And, man, you just, people like that. And I'll listen to Timothy Bradley any day over Carl Froch. I really ain't got no time to listen to him go at AJ all the time and try to crack his little jokes and call himself the Cobra. And, when you think of a cobra, you got to think of a snake. And anytime you think of a snake, that's not held in high regard. So you might want to change that nickname, Mr. Frotch. Mr. Frotch. Anyway, it's the J. Roos Theory. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up if you wish to donate to the J. Roos Theory. The Cash App is $J Roos33, and that's Roos, not Ross, like I always say. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's the J. Roos Theory over there too. Anyway, what do you think of Timothy Bradley's ego and Carl Froch's ego? Maybe those two should fight. Maybe they should do a podcast together and just go back and forth talking about how great they were or whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. LSR forever and be fearless. Yay.